I'm Sebastian Sylwan. I'm Chief Technology Officer at Weta Digital. What that entails is really looking at some of the software development that we do at Weta. We also started a research group which is trying to engage with academia and with other players in industry to try to push the boundaries of what is possible in computer graphics today. Well, I guess we are still very much in a steep side of the innovation curve. The challenges that were there 10 years ago are still for the most part, present. Mostly, I think, because at the same time at which the sophistication of the tools has improved, the sophistication of the audiences has improved, and there's no limit to reality and to the creativity of the authors. And so what we are seeing is that there is this constant race or this constant push to go beyond and push the boundaries even further of what is possible to visualize. I don't think that it is a burden. I see it much more as a challenge, right? There is always there's always a new goal to reach, and I think that technology helps us. There's at least two separate areas or separate directions in which technology actually help us meet that challenge. One is doing things or visualizing things that have never been seen before. And so breaking the boundaries of what was possible. On the other side, innovation also provides you with an increased efficiency, and so you can do the things that were possible before, but you can do them much faster. The two things actually combine, because what we're actually after in developing these technologies is providing a tool for the artist's vision to be realized. And so if an artist can get a faster iteration over a simulation or over a render, they will be able to refine even further. If they can get a visual or a look or be more realistic in a particular rendition of an effect, then it's a better final quality for the movie. If there is a specific look or graphic effect or any part that still needs to be pushed and realized, I think that is where innovating and trying to get to a better result is the challenge that is posed to technology.
How do you make the decisions on where to invest time, effort, and money in technical innovation? What drives that process?
Well, there definitely are challenges that are practical and are coming from productions. However, we also know that there are long-term challenges that we want to tackle and we want to be investing in, because we believe that they will give us a significant step forward, either in something that has never been seen before or in terms of efficiency. So it's always a balance, and it's not necessarily we always have numerous activities going on at once in R&D and in development. Some of them are tied to immediate deliveries for the projects we're currently working on. Some of them are longer term. So the easiest ones to quote are the two papers that we are presenting here at SIGGRAPH. We have one paper on a diffusion model, quantized diffusion model for subsurface scattering, and another one on fluid control. In reality, we're working on almost every area of computer graphics and animation, computer vision. So these are just two examples of the things that we're doing. Rendering better skin, better humans, or better apes in some cases is, of course, always a goal and a challenge. Conveying the soul of a character is the ultimate goal. Then creating the environment in which that soul can be expressed and enacted is still part of the same challenge. We're still trying to create a collective imaginary. We're trying to create an environment in which the audiences can live the dream. Yes, we developed a number of technologies that were used on the Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And the one that probably was featured most prominently was the hair of the characters. In reality, what we do is provide technical tools or technological tools to the artists so that they can actually create a character that not only is realistic but also emotes. So there were a number of technological improvements and advancements that were pushed specifically for this. The soul of the character comes through animation, comes through the lighting, comes through the shading of all the parts. It needs to be realistic enough to not throw you off of the suspension of disbelief, and at the same time be subtle enough to be able to convey the character, the Caesar. Well, the real competitive edge of Weta is the artists that actually finally make the images, right? The artists that make the final images. What we provide is a way for them to do that in a much more efficient manner and to convey pieces that actually make a believable word and a believable character. So it is definitely a matter of efficiency, as we were saying earlier. The efficiency that gets exemplified in making the same process faster, or a process that delivers a different and better result. There is always a better way for an artist to express that creative intent. So what we are giving them is really the ability to express those emotions that will tie with the audiences. I don't know that is much of a challenge in itself. There is a constant communication, and that is probably the most important part of a good relationship. We talk to directors pretty much on a daily basis. We do reviews just as if we were to be in the same city. I think that is also part of that relationship, of that connection, that is a great part of what Weta does and does well, which is the involvement in the creative process, especially early on in most projects that we are involved in. We are brought in early on, and there is a constant creative communication with the director and with the various players in the production process. Well, we are definitely differentiating ourselves and competing on the quality of the product that we do. As you said, there is always a more complex scene or a more complex word to realize, to represent, and there is always the challenge of pushing the boundaries. I think that the industry evolves with the technology as well as the artistry. The vision of directors is always pushing what is possible, and what is possible is always pushing what the imagination of creators is capable of. So it's an organic joint growth, I think. Well, I don't think that there's any area that has been left untouched in the past 2, 3, 4 years. There definitely are areas in which we have focused, and characters and their skin, the way they are represented, animated, hair, cloth, water, simulations, pretty much the way we capture scenes, virtual production and virtual camera, virtual cinematography. I think that there's really not a single area that we haven't tried to push the boundaries a little bit further. I think they all grow, all these areas grow organically, and to a certain extent have to. You cannot perfect animation without perfecting the look of a character and making sure that the way light hits it and reflects off it is consistent with the way the skin moves. So all of these things we are trying and pushing the boundaries of verisimilitude, and so we are trying to make a more and more realistic model, and doing so with more control whenever possible, so that we can not only do things realistically but also bend to a certain extent reality to the will of the creative intent, to the will of communication.